Alderson. We're on step number 25. There are only 2 steps left and we are finished with the series. How do I plot my novel, memoir, or screenplay? And if you have made it this far into the series, I would think that you have probably faced and overcome a lot of resistance and possibly a bit of fear. I don't really know of too many writers that don't sort of feel a sense of trepidation when they're writing. Am I making the right choices? Is this really going to matter? Who's ever going to read this? Why am I wasting so much time? So you're almost to the end of at least the first draft, or of plotting, or of maybe your final draft. I have someone I've been working with, and I just heard from her, and she's now coming up to the climax of her story and following along with us, and she's ready to send it out to, I think she has about 3 or 4 agents that are actually waiting for the manuscript. So that's very exciting. And she has faced a lot of resistance. We all do. So I'm just really proud of you, and I want to say thank you for following along, and thank you for believing in the process enough to honor yourself, and the process of writing enough to continue to show up even when it's really hard. And I hope that maybe the process of going through the series, you sort of can see that not only the protagonist has been going through the hero's journey, but you have too. And that now you are coming to the place of full mastery. When you hit the climax, you will have proven to yourself, oh my God, I could start at the beginning of a project, get all the way to the end, and I did that. And there's something on a really deep and profound level of completion. You know, so often we begin things and then we sort of lose energy for it, or we think, what's the point, or whatever. But to take something all the way to the end is really a big step, and it's something that, you know, deserves to be celebrated and to pat yourself on the back and feel really, really good about. So this is the final journey towards wholeness, not only for yourself as the writer, but mostly for your protagonist. If they lost at some point in their backstory that feeling of innocence or that state of perfection, now is what they're trying to strive to get to, is back to that original state, only better, because now they're not naive, and they're not young, and they're not inexperienced, or you know, now it's they understand what's at stake and who they are and what the gifts are that are being offered, and they're fighting to the end to get to this final goal, to achieve that which they've always really, really wanted. And for you, it could be to write a book, and there you go. But it's not over yet. I mean, it's not like the easy part is here. This is where it gets the most intense, because the climax is the greatest obstacle, the greatest challenge, the greatest test that the protagonist will go through in the entire story. And it will sort of show her in her full glory, you know, being able to do something she couldn't have done anywhere else in the story. So the next scene that we're going to come to is actually the climax, and then we'll have the resolution, will be the step after that, and then we're done. So now what you need to do is to really develop a sequence of scenes that are going to get the reader and the protagonist ready for this final confrontation with their greatest foe or their greatest fear. So the sequence of events need to be tight, need to be focused, and need to be getting the reader or the audience ready to get that sense of excitement, but also fear. You know, will she prevail? Even though she's come to a place of knowing herself better, until she gets to the climax, she is not at a state of mastery. So you want the reader and the moviegoer to still be on the edge of their seats. Will she or won't she? Will she prevail, or will she be killed in the end? Or will she fail, or will she resort back to her old behaviors of, you know, turning and running away from that which she fears the most? So you have to kind of still have her show failure or a lack of mastery in order to keep the tension high, because now it's all about conflict, tension, and suspense. You want to make it as exciting for the reader so that they'll get to the moment of climax, which will be the major opposition. So I want you to think about that, think about all the different things we've talked about in all the steps, and you know, you can always go back and do another rewrite so that you can finesse all of these things now that you sort of know it, and now that you're getting closer to the climax and you're asking yourself questions about, you know, what am I really trying to say here? It will really throw your whole story into a different level of, you know, of meaning, and you'll need to go back and sort of foreshadow things and move things around and hopefully cut a lot that doesn't contribute to the story anymore. So all I want you to do today is to think about this next scene that's coming. Think about the scenes that you can start to develop in sequence that will lead to this greatest moment. And if you need some help, again, my book is Blockbuster Plots, Pure and Simple. It has everything you need for creating a plot planner where you can actually have a visual template of all these scenes. So that if you're pre-plotting your story or a memoir or a screenplay, rather than writing it at first, you make the template, and then on post-it notes you start putting the scenes, and you get scene ideas, and you do one color of post-it notes for the dramatic action. You can do another color of post-it notes for the character emotional development. You can do another color for the thematic significance. You can have another plot planner on top of the primary plot, and that can be the secondary characters plot or any subplots that you want to plot out. But it's a great way to be able to stand back and see all that we've done, see the whole totality of your project, and then you can see what scenes are there no cause and effect, or where are the scenes that are flat, and can I pop those up, and am I pacing it right so that it feels like a organic, you know, growing towards this moment of greatest significance in the story so far. So visit the website Santa Cruz Traveling Mystery Tour for more details about our contest. And if you win, you could win an overnight at the Darling House, which is just down the street from where we are. This is an iconic location that I hope most of you know or can at least identify. And we have a bunch of surfers. The swells are up, and it looks like they're having a lot of fun out there. And there's kayakers, and it's about 75 degrees here. So we hope that you win the contest so you can come and hang out with us. Thank you for visiting.